Right, so now that we have completed Shirley's stuff, we are now going to go into another long and arduous sim task completing trek. But first, we have 2 commercial sims that we can invite. As I said, this tends to happen on kind of star level 4 onwards. We have Captain Ginny, and we have Trevor over in the corner there talking to people. The annoying thing is that you can't move in 2 people at once, which is really irritating, particularly when you go to move someone in and it comes up with, it gives you a choice. Yeah, it's just like, what? Because basically, when you come to do the building of the house, it asks you who do you want to move in, but there's only ever one person that you can move in. I'm not sure whether that's the same with the towny sims. I don't know if it's just a commercial sim thing. But it's just like, why? Why must you do this to me? Anyway, let's create a rather bizarre construction for this pirate-loving girl. Just make it completely balmy. Because that's what you need for a pirate ship. To make it not look straight at all. It's kind of... It's like an arrow, really, more than a ship. But it'll look lovely once we're inside. And that orientation still irritates me. Thankfully, we're not going to have to be here for more than one part, so I don't have to worry about that orientation annoying me for much longer. Anyway, let's hop on back to the hotel and pick up Trevor. Trevor, why are you next to the door? I just want to talk to you and... Trevor, move. There we go. Now, Trevor's a kind of likes the playhouse and the theatre, and we will be going into Trevor more, I believe in the next part, because that's going to be Trevor's time to shine. Because at the minute, we are going to be dealing with Ginny. We moved her in first, therefore, logically I feel obliged to complete her tasks first. Obviously we can't do that until we've actually moved Trevor in. Wouldn't want him to be staying at the hotel for longer than is necessary. But yeah. Now when I actually made my original town, the Trevor's Theatre was I put in the town centre. It was kind of it was a big place to go and quite dramatic. I have to say, I do quite like kind of the design that you can kind of put on it. It's just quite awesome. Now, the reason I'm going a little bit more kind of overboard on the theatre than Ginny's pirate house is because people will actually want to come here. This is actually a go-to location rather than something that nobody really cares about. Anyway, this is Captain Ginny's. It's a tavern, basically, even though Ginny's like only a kid. It's really bizarre. Anyway, Captain Ginny's real name is actually Virginia. But she goes by the name of Captain Ginny. Basically, Ginny's parents noticed early on that their little Virginia was different from the other children. While most kids greeted each other by saying hello, Ginny would usually scream a vast, "Ye scurvy dogs," and then bite them on the head. A little rambunctious is how her teachers described her. One day Ginny received a pirate hat and an eye patch as a gift from her grandmother, who is no longer allowed to bring gifts without asking Ginny's parents first. And on that fateful day, Captain Ginny was born. Since then, Ginny has been seeking fortune and adventure on the high seas of her own imagination. Yarr! Now, irritatingly, she needs angry essences, so it's Be Mean to Ginny Day. She asked for it. Anyway, interests are fun and cute, and she hates studious. So it's kind of funny that I've stuck her right next to the theatre with Trevor, who likes. That was bizarre with the whole T-Y. I can't quite remember the what that pose is called. But it's common in video games. It's odd that it's happening now. I've never seen the game do that before, but oh well. Basically, we just need to go on our lovely, wonderful loot hunt. Now, Ginny has solid blue eyes in MySims and MySims Party, but in MySims Kingdom, her eye colour is different. It's a clear light blue, and she also has kind of different shaped eyes. But she actually used to have green eyes and freckles in the beta version, but she definitely looks better with blue eyes. It's because of the whole blue suit, it just works better. Really. Anyway, basically, a lot of what Ginny wants is, in this cave here. It's all, card-based. So you've got hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades. Which are interesting. Another funny thing about Ginny is that, in every single version of her, she has spike braids. But except for her pirate version, which is kind of her original version, and I think it appears in MySims Party. But other than that, it always has spikes. Which is a little bit odd. And I actually don't really have much else about Ginny, other than she may have been cut from MySims Agents. Because there's a picture of a girl looking at a temple, which ever so slightly resembles her outfit from MySims Kingdom, but she doesn't appear in that game at all. A lot of characters don't appear in MySims Agents. It's kind of depressing. Now, also for Ginny, we need to go to a cave, which is just here. So lots of breaking into caves for good old Ginny. I'll just keep calling her Ginny because it's easier. And we're back to the prospecting. Oh, wonderful. It's not as bad as one of the later prospecting stretches that we have to do. There was one section where literally I've never had to prospect for so long. It's ridiculous. Thankfully, this was a lot easier on life than what's coming later. Although if I do recall correctly, the magic carpets were particularly elusive. They didn't like turning up, really. And I think that's actually it for our essence hunt, because we already had all the beach balls from previous fishing trips. So it's just a case of putting everything together. Now, one thing I don't think I've explained yet is all of the Sims that turn up at star level 4, which is really bad of me. I probably should have dealt with that much sooner, but clearly it just didn't come to mind. Basically, at star level 4, commercial-wise, you get Captain Ginny, Madam Zoe, Trevor Verily, Dr. F, and Professor Nova, and they mark your last collection of commercial Sims. In terms of towny Sims, you get Annie Rad, Odin Revolution, Liberty, Pinky, Jeremy Snores, Yuki, Ian Arneson, Gertrude Spackle, Makoto, Crystal, Linda, Grandma Ruthie, Edwin, Sasha, and Amelia. My word! So many new Sims. It's almost ridiculous. So Annie Rad is a rock star, with fun and geeky interests and dislike for the studious. In this game, in her hotel introduction, she spells rock incorrectly. She spelled it similar to the name of Rock Hawk in Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. She's written several songs, some of which are All the Animals, Kitten Got Claws, and Drowning Without Your Love, which is funny. She also makes a remark that Odin Revolution has his mythology mixed up, which shows a bit of her intelligence. So that's about it for Annie. Then we have Odin Revolution, who I have previously mentioned, because his favourite band is Nothing But Drums, which is the experimental rock band that Elmira Clamp is in. He's very similar to Vic Vector because of the eyes are similar and they both have long hair and a beard. And actually, both of their names kind of have sort of movement theme. It's the kind of slightly mathematical tone. He makes several references to the Norse god Odin, which is pretty much where his name comes from. And that's about it. He's a fun and spooky sim who hates studious. So there's a big dislike for stuff. Then you have Liberty, who's a geeky and cute sim who hates studious. Why is with all the hate for the studious? According to her, she took care of a snake and it became so healthy it bit her on the nose, which is why she has a band-aid there, but it's absent in other games. There's also a problem with her house because it's glitched. Basically, it's completely black all over. I think it's pretty much only her house. She has Buddy's voice type in this game, but she has Violet's voice type in other games. Let's see, what other interesting things have we got on Liberty? Not a lot. We also have Pinky, who loves anything that's blue. She has a blue dress, blue eyes, and she even has blue hair. But her name's Pinky. Interests are cute and geeky, and she hates studious. There really is a hatred for studious at the minute. This is not nice. Her voice is more high-pitched in MySims Agents than it is in any other game. And a face resembling hers appears on the karaoke machine that you make, although they have red eyes instead of blue. She also uses the word blue in almost every single sentence. There's also Jeremy snores. He likes to sleep a lot and is wearing a onesie. He'd be very popular with students of today. Interests are cute and tasty, and he hates fun. He's pleasant. I've been forgetting the best friend rewards. Anyway, he gives you a cradle bed. And he acts as if he hates spooky, but his real hatred is fun. He also appears to have knowledge about the Ubersims, due to the fact that he has omens about them in his dreams. Then there's Yuki, who watches a lot of spooky anime cartoons, and also never misses a single rerun of the classic British sitcom May I Bite Your Face. I don't remember this sitcom, but apparently it exists in the MySims universe. Interests are spooky and cute, and she hates fun. She may be Japanese because of the major enjoyment for anime, the kimono-like dress, and also the name, which means snow. And the eyes are manga anime-esque, but that's generally the case for most of the characters in this game. And pretty much, she makes kind of a reference to Cassandra, when she wishes that ghosts were in town, because ghosts are in the town, because Cassandra's there. And apparently, well, according to Yuki, the nose is the tastiest part of the face. But no, MySims characters have noses. It could be that she's a vampire, but it's never really dealt with. Her best friend reward is a giant claw television. Then we have Ina Arneson, who is a nerd raised by Elmira Clamp, who's his aunt. Interests are geeky and tasty, and he hates fun. Gives you a magnetic bookshelf blueprint. And also on the back of the MySims case, Ian is shown with brown hair, which was most likely the original art for him. But he's blonde in this game. And along with Clayton, who we'll be discussing later, he's the only geeky sim who doesn't appear in any other game. And then Gertrude Spackle has got a creepy love for bugs. Interests are geeky and spooky, and hates fun. Best friend reward is a science chair blueprint. Not really a lot for Gertrude. Makoto is a highly advanced, artificially intelligent humanoid robot made by Dr. F, who often speaks in capital letters. She's a studious and spooky sim who hates fun. A lot of hatred for fun at the minute. Much like other characters, she also appears on the cover, but she has red hair and blue eyes, which is odd. Makoto's interesting because she has a link to Tobor, whose first appearance is in MySims Kingdom, and also a Proto Makoto, who also appears in MySims Kingdom. But both of them are much more basic versions of Maxto. She's also the only sim who doesn't have a bed and does not request one of you, which is rather odd. We have Crystal, who's a spooky and fun sim who hates cute. Best friend reward is an ornate bookshelf. It's possible she's adopted, because she says, "I wish you were my adopted family," which is kind of depressing. It's possible that she's related to Summer because she says that she has cheerleading sisters. She also shares all of her interests, both primary, secondary and hated, with Violet, which is very, very rare, and she doesn't appear in any other game. Then there's Linda, who is a studious, tasty sim who hates geeky, gives you a naval bathtub. Grandma Ruthie, who makes oatmeal cookies. Interests are tasty and studious, and she hates spooky. Which is then kind of played on a bit in MySims Kingdom. Edwin, interests are tasty and geeky, and hates spooky. Sasha, tasty and cute sim who hates geeky, best friend reward an apple stove. And Amelia is a studious and tasty sim who hates geeky. Best friend reward is an Art Deco bookshelf blueprint, and that covers everyone. I haven't covered what they actually all give you because I forgot. But that's covered everyone. Now, just in time for us to do the big, spectacular build that is the staple of Star Level 4 Sims. Basically, each one will ask you to build these spectacularly huge pieces, normally as their last piece, but some of them do alternate in where it kind of appears, so don't be too surprised if they ask you for this earlier. So let's go and give this back to Ginny. Phew, that was quite long. Whew.